Hey, what's going on? So, this time we're going to do staining on the outside of your home. And a lot of the staining will be seen on the north side. And the reason you'll see staining on the north side is because it's shaded from the house. It's cooler. If condensation occurs on the siding if you have heat loss in the house. We'll talk about that in a second. And then, of course, when there's condensation on your siding, then you'll get particulate, okay, attracting to it. So, obviously, we can wash this off too, okay? So, yes, you can wash this off. Most of it. Most of it. So, let's talk about some of the driving forces. We're going to call this video Exterior North Face Ghosting. I just made that up. Ghost staining. How's that? Exterior north facing ghost staining. All right, and they use the word ghost stains on interior from candle burners and things like that. Before I go on, I do have a service on Google. Just Google Clevelandmarko, M-E-R-K-O, with a question. Clevelandmarko with a question, and for $29, 20 minutes or so, we'll solve your house problem. I don't care what it is. You might, we'll ask you a bunch of questions, maybe send me some photos. Nobody else can solve it. I can. Also, down below, I have some links. Check them out. I'm a Google partner, so I Google, Amazon, and I do sell products generally associated with the links. Plus, please rate, subscribe, hit the button, the bell over there to help. That way, you'll get my future videos. So let's talk about number one. If you have an HVAC system in the basement, and I have other videos, if you just go to my site Clevelandmarko, M-E-R-K-O, and search in my search section whatever keyword you want. I have like 1,000 videos. I probably have a video on the things I'm talking about right now as well, or more videos. So if you've got negative pressure because your cold air return in your basement is duct leakage. In other words, you have a cold air return register in your basement, or you close your basement door and your cold air returns aren't sealed. And the way you find out is simply sit at the bottom of the door in the basement, put a piece of toilet paper there, and if everything gets sucked down, you got negative pressure. You probably have radon gas. You're sucking moisture out of the sump pump. All kind of problems. So that starts off with imbalanced heating system, which means your upstairs is positively pressurized. So some homes, if they weren't properly insulated, today the newer homes are really insulated, and before they put its platform construction, and they'll air seal it and caulk all the penetrations, all that, right? But some of the older homes don't have all that, and so you start to leak air upstairs because if you're negative downstairs, you're positive upstairs. These are the same houses that have the snow that melts quicker, the ones that have mold and ice dams, the ones that have high heating bills, okay, the ones that have attic access panels and pull downs that aren't insulated, that aren't, I have videos on that too, that aren't weather stripped. So positive pressure then will cause exfiltration of conditioned air. And so if you've got conditioned air leaving your house through outlets, through the cracks, through the walls, let's say underneath, the moldings, the base moldings, because they didn't seal that, that whole perimeter, then you will have heat loss interstitially in your walls and leak out your siding. And a lot of times you'll see it at the siding weep holes. Now this is a little bit different. This video isn't on that, but it's happening here as well. This video is more on the vents. And what happens is with the vents, if there's a lot of moist air coming out of the vent, like a dryer vent or a shower vent, and it's really cold and very shaded, then you get condensation. Okay, and what'll happen is right where the air comes out is pretty hot. So that kind of washes itself from the water dripping down, but you'll get a little bit of intermittent condensations around the sides of it. It's a little bit cooler, and you have impaction and plate out and from particulate that's floating around. So let's say you're near a freeway, you may have more of this, or if you're near a place where they had fires, you may have more of this kind of staining because the incomplete combustion carbon soot's floating around on the outside. And it necessarily carbon, it could just be dust. And it looks like carbon soot because what ends up happening is that the dust that attracts to the condensation from the vents, because it's cooler, then it's shaded, it's cooler, it's wet, and it has food, which is dust, whatever the dust is, and then you get mold. So a lot of this black stuff isn't necessarily carbon, it could just be mold or mildew. Okay, see that one there? And you can see it's all over down here. See my finger? See all that? All that. You know, just because this, if this wasn't here, we would still have all this staining, okay? And so that means your heating system has negative basement pressure and you got positive pressure, and your interstitial cavity, your spaces weren't weather, water, or air sealed, and so air's leaking through, let's say, an outlet or through the floor, and it spits out, you know, into your siding and through the sheeting, and then it leaks out of the weep holes. The little, if you look at your siding, you always see little teeny weep holes, and so it leaks out of there, and a lot of times those areas are stained. So you want to stop all this. You can't stop this. Can't move the sun. We can cut some trees down if there are issues shading the home. You don't want trees hanging over your house. They fill up your gutters. Animals jump on the roof anyways. Plus, if they're too close to your house, the roots get into the storm lines and drain tile. Now you got leaky basement, foundation walls that crack, mold and mildew. Trees are great in the backyard, not in front of your sewers, and they're all great in the forest, and they're great in your neighbor's house. You don't want them in front of your house, that right above your sewers, your drains. You don't want them hanging over your house. You don't want them where animals can jump on your roof and like move into your attic, you know. And so these are all stains that can be washed off, okay? And then, oh, this is interesting, you know. So, you know, okay, so we got fires, and you know, if you're in an area where there's a lot of fires, that's a whole other problem. So, you know, you're going to stain your house. If you've got windows open, maybe they'll get inside. If you've got areas where there's a lot of dust, you're near deserts, you know, or you're near where, let's say, for example, southern Florida, and 3 or 4 times a year you get the Sahara dust that comes across the ocean. You know, you get dust. You know, these are all indoor air things too. So indoor air pollution is an issue. And this is interesting that the California fires, those are all the fires above, and then right below it is where the rails are going. I don't know. I got to think about that for a minute. Anyways, so yes, we can wash our siding, but this is caused by negative and positive pressures in your home from unbalanced HVAC system. Hey, I have more videos, 1,000 videos or so. I probably got different kind of stains you can look up. Plus, if you have issues that you can't solve, hey, you know, just Google "Call Marco with a Question," Marko, and we'll try to solve your problem in 15-20 minutes. I do charge $29 for that. You can also watch videos. On my site, I have videos pretty much on everything, or look at other people's videos. Always do your homework before you call your contractor. Always find out what your problem is before you call your contractor. This way you don't get taken. You know, these contractors, you know, they got to make money, right? But maybe they don't need to make as much money on you. Just be smart about what you do. Please, below, if you buy anything, you don't want to go to store, Amazon, just go with my link down there, punch in what you want. I get like a %. Also, please rate, subscribe, and call Marco with a question. Hey, thanks for coming on.